Hello everyone, I'm Disco Legend, and welcome to a Farming Simulator 19 gameplay series. In the previous episode, we had our share of failed contract attempts, but also quite a few well-paying successes. We did walk away with one negative review from a client though, but there's still a little more time left in this day to make up for that and get our first positive review. So let's get to work. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 4. We're going to fit as many contracts as we can into what remains of this day, and then do a little rundown on our triumphs and failures on our first day as a farmer. But first, we're going to swing by the shop. I told our friend we were interested in buying a tractor, but due to our farmer level and lack of money, we had some restrictions. He said he had 2 tractors right now for us to come look at, but he might be able to find some more later. So tractor 11 is off the list. So we're going to look at tractor number 2 and tractor number 10. It'll be interesting to see how tractor 2 compares to number 11. And it'll give us an idea of what to expect from our options on the lower end of the spectrum. And if you're wondering why I haven't given the shop owner a name yet, it's because I've got more than one friend that might visit. But we are going to go ahead and assign him the name of Dave, because he's the one that's most likely to visit. There's always the possibility of driving over and helping him on his farm though. Alright, let's see what he was able to find for us. I'm going to go ahead and apologize now, because I'm going to mispronounce a lot of brand names during the course of this series. But it looks like he was able to find us 2 different models of Ursus Tractors. Let's take a look at the smaller of the 2 first. We have a base price of $18,000, a couple of options for color, some wheel choices, narrow tires, some cosmetic options, with or without cabin, and the engine is upgradable to 52 horsepower. And it comes with a very wonky looking front loader. And a max speed of 17 miles per hour. It does seem a bit pricey when compared to the last tractor we looked at, but that's probably why it's ranked number 2. Alright, let's take a look at the other one. So this one has the base price of $34,800, which is way pricier than the one Lars was selling. It is a little faster, and it also comes with 75 horsepower, which is going to be our max. We have a couple of color options again, some options for weights, the options for twin wheels, but no narrow. That's strange for a small tractor. And the front loader option, which is always nice. Some of these options are definitely going to be more desirable than others, but based off what we've seen, we're going to need anywhere from $18,000 to $35,000 saved up. So let's go ahead and see what contracts are available. Cultivating seems to go a little quicker than plowing, so to maximize what we can do with the rest of the day, I think we'll start with those first. Even with these 3 being off limits, that still leaves us 5 contracts to try and get. We'll just start at the top with field number 4. It's been a long day, and we're pretty tired. We can't let the client see that. So let's get it together and make this sale. Hi, Carl. It's a nice place you got out here. You want to hire me for Field 4? We look pretty rough, but maybe he doesn't care or notice. Let's see. Fooled him. Well, this job shouldn't take long. See you soon. So what if we fell asleep? He can't prove nothing. Nice. Let's get our money and get out of here before Carl gets more suspicious of us. If I'm not mistaken, I think Field 9 was next. Yep, let's head on over. Still pretty tired, but we always get a second wind after we get paid. So let's see if we can get 2 in a row. Well, it's hard to tell if he's happy or mad we're here, so let's let the dice decide. He is not happy. Let's leave this grumpy old man to himself and move on. Field 11, owned by Arnie Eklund. Same last name as Iris. Probably best not to ask questions, or mention the fact that we bought Iris's house, until we found out a little bit more about their relationship. Looks like Arnie may have some involvement in whatever sell point this is. Might be worth it to get on his good side eventually. Definitely, if we want to sell eggs. But that's a long way away. Let's meet the man first. Well, I'm not here about eggs. I'm here to cultivate Field 11. Alright, this guy seems more interested in eggs, but let's see what he says. Oh, the job is ours. So my buddy suggested making a crit count as 2 successes, basically giving us a free pick of this NPC's next contract, and an epic fail of 1 would just be the result of 2 lost contracts. The only other idea I have right now is similar to what we did with Lars, where we combine the contract roll and the review roll to see if they'll sell us something later. And since we already used that method with Lars on this game day, I think we'll go ahead and cash in on that second contract. Arnie doesn't have any more cultivating contracts, so let's take a look at the plowing options. Looks like 18 and 21. Plus 26. Ideally, I'd like to grab the low paying contract with less equipment cost, and then get the other contracts. Try and get that bonus. But what am I talking about? We don't have to decide. Okay, Arnie liked us so much, he's going to give us the job on Field 18 for free. So we're going to go ahead and knock out these 2 contracts, and then see what time it is in game. Because after it gets too dark, no one's going to want to hire us to do any work. But if there is time, we're going to come back and try and get those contracts for fields 21 and 26, and get that equipment bonus. But since we're trying to get that bonus off a freebie contract, I think we're going to not have to fail our review roll for that to be an option. Alright, see you in a few. Well, as expected, the cultivating was fast and easy. The plowing, you saw the result. So if we don't fail either of these review rolls, we'll hold on to this plowing equipment, and then try and get those other 2 contracts. If we do fail one of them, we can still try and get those other 2 jobs. It'll just be a new transaction. Okay, I think we're way overdue for a positive review, but just not failing either of these would be nice too. So let's do the cultivating job first. How'd we do? Terrible on the cultivating. I can't wait to see how he thinks we did on the plowing. Here we go. Interesting. I was going to explain this change next episode, but since it happened, here we go. Getting 1 negative review will put us at negative reputation level 1. Now how many it takes for each level after that is kind of undetermined. But for now, when trying to get contracts from Arnie Eklund or Pierre Berg, we'll be at a disadvantage. So how about it, Chicken Man? Want to give me a second chance with fields 21 and 26? Okay, so we're going to need an 11 or higher since we're at a -1 disadvantage. Let's try field 26 first. He says no. Not looking good. Alright, let's try field 21. Negative. Well, let's get out of here before we make the Chicken Man even more angry. Shoulda just ate the omelet. On the bright side, we have made our first $10,000. That's kind of a milestone. Let's see. Field 13 and field 34 are still up for grabs. Let's go meet Mr. Bjornholm. He lives pretty close to the circus. Wonder if he works there. Please, just don't be a clown. Hey there, buddy. How's the circus life treating you? You want to hire me for field 13? This guy seems like a good sport. I like our chances. Here we go. Whoops. May have been a bad idea to assume he's in the circus. Only 1 cultivating job left to try and get, so let's go to field 34. I still think he might be a clown. Looks like some kind of production facility over here to the right. Some sort of grain storage and processing. Must be noisy. I'm just here for the job on Field 34. No, not selling encyclopedias. To cultivate Field 34. I'm not even sure he knows why we're here. But here goes nothing. Well, it's a yes. He might be a little hard of hearing, living next to that grain elevator all these years. I'm just going to remind him one more time while we're here. Well, he mumbled something and pointed in this direction, so I'm guessing the equipment's over here. If this job goes quickly, we might be able to do one more today. If we get a positive review on this job, we'll probably call it quits for the day, but if we don't, we're going to try one more. All finished. I think you'll be quite pleased. Alright, despite how the conversation's going, I think we're getting a good review here. Let's see. Yes! Our first one! Sir, after the day we've had, we'll take that compliment. And we'll take our money and be on our way. Now I know I said if I got a positive review, we'd wrap it up, but I think there's still time for one more contract. I don't think we have time for 2 contracts, so let's find someone who only has 1 that pays pretty well. One more thing I may have lied about was tomorrow, when we try and go for those contracts we failed today, I think we will take a penalty. Just not sure if it's going to be a 1 or a 2 disadvantage. I don't really want to revisit anyone we've seen today either. Well, Christian Blom and Field 27 look like a good candidate, and that's a nice sized plow, so it should go quick. Of course, I'm assuming we get the job. Yep, let's head over to Field 27. Looks like Christian runs a bit of a nursery. He might be the guy to talk to later on if we're ever interested in buying some greenhouses. If we don't get this job, we can always try again tomorrow with the disadvantage, but I can already tell I'm going to regret it, not ending this day on a good note. Let's see, he's probably back here working in the shed. I'm not the delivery guy, I'm Disco Legend. I just got a 20 on my last customer review. Alright, the last time we came in overly confident, I don't think it worked out. But this time we have the 20 to back us up. So let's see what we got. Nice. Took a little longer than expected, but all done. Okay, if you could see the last field we plowed compared to this one, you'd give us a 20. So be generous. Yeah, not a fail. I guess his standards are a little higher. It did start to get dark pretty quick there. I think the seasons mod may affect the length of the day depending on the season. So for early spring, it looks like 5 o'clock may be the latest we're able to accept contracts. And if we finish later than 6:30, we may be at some kind of disadvantage when we do our review. Once we own our own land and start plowing and harvesting our own fields, we can do whatever we want. But these clients don't want us making all that racket outside their house that late at night. Well, we managed to make almost $16,000 in our first day as a farmer. I'd say that's a success. Let's head back to the house and take a look at some other numbers. Well, that was a long day. Let's head into the old dining room / office and see how we did. Oh, don't forget to turn the lights off. Oh man, left this door open all day. Don't tell me what kind of country critters got in here. Okay, let's look at our day 1 report. So for future reference, I made a note that it's a 6-day cycle we're on. Today was early spring, and I put the time on there to kind of remind us of what time we could accept contracts, what time we couldn't, and when we would get the negative impact on review rolls. So we can accept contracts between 7:30 and 5 p.m. And if we finish a contract after 6:30 p.m., we're going to be at a disadvantage. But those times could change depending on how the seasons mod affects the length of the day. We're not too worried about tracking income and expenses, because that number is just always going to change. These are just some things I think it's worth tracking to see if the odds need to be increased or decreased to make things more difficult or easier for us. Today, we attempted to get 19 contracts. We were able to obtain 10 of them, plus we got 1 from a crit. And it feels like we had a lot more, but we only failed 9 attempts. We did receive 2 negative reviews, which puts us at the first level of negative reputation with these 2 NPCs, which is why they have the big sad face. But we did get 1 positive review, which puts us at 1 out of I'm not sure how many yet to achieve the first level of positive rep with 1 NPC. And right now I'm thinking either 3 or maybe 5 to achieve that first big happy face. And at the bottom, I just noted that our business card was a fail for the day. There are other things that I'm tracking, but if you can think of anything else that should be shown here, let me know. At the end of the year, we'll probably do a slightly more detailed report and start showing some percentages just to see how things are working out. But I'd say this is a pretty successful first day. But being used to city life, it has taken a toll on us. I'm ready to pass out. I don't see a bed anywhere. I think we're just going to throw a pillow on the floor here and call it a day. And I'll meet you back here tomorrow, bright and early, for day number 2. As usual, thanks for watching. Please leave any thoughts or suggestions you might have in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.